I'd like to call this meeting to order and ask for approval of the agenda.
So motion.
Second.
Favor? Aye. Courtney, I jumped ahead. We take roll.
Yes, we did.
Paul Wyatt.
Here.
Kelly Boyer. Mrs. Schultz. Here. Sean Larson.
Here.
Casey.
Here.
Anderson.
Here. If you are able, Mrs. Boyer will lead us in the pledge. Please rise, followed by the invocation given by Mr. Wyatt. Allegiance to the flag of the United States and to the republic for which is one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and
Our Father in heaven, as we bow our heads this night at the school board meeting in which we commence, we are grateful for the influence in our lives and for the ability we have to live in such a fine area and be surrounded by such wonderful people. We ask that Thou would be mindful of the decisions we make, would inspire those things that would do best for our children and for our staff. We're so grateful for the many hours that they put in behalf of our children and the importance of education. Help us be mindful of that and to understand the importance thereof. Thankful for all the many gifts that Thou gives us and for the time we have to spend here and to do those things that are pleasing to Thee. Saying this humbly, we thank Thee for these things and do it in our Savior's name, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Item 7.1, approval of the meeting minutes.
Motion to approve as presented.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item 8.1, ratification of expense payroll vouchers, tax credits, and activity accounts for your approval.
Motion to approve as presented.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item 9.1, public comment. You're asked to state your name when you come up. Since we have so many, I'd ask that we can have students, athletes come up together and have one spokesperson, parents come up and have one spokesperson, community member, and coaches. So 4 different groups. So if the girls want to come up first with a spokesperson, come on up. Not with this many people, no. Don't have any players here? Do you want to come and give a statement, Mr. Reedhead? You want to give a statement?
Yeah, let's see some leadership, girls. One of you, all of you, please come up and one be voice.
You all signed the form, so
Yeah,
someone...
come on up.
Hey, girls, you could come up and state your name, who's talking, to which 2 of you, and you have 2 minutes.
2 minutes each.
For the 2 girls, yeah.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Lindsay Lewis, and I'm a senior at Shola High School. I just wanted to start off by thanking the community for all the support that we have been shown. It means the world. So all the way back in December, I caught word that the Arizona Interscholastic Association's Executive Board voted to establish girls flag football as the association's newest sanctioned sport. I immediately emailed our athletic director, posted about it on my Instagram story to see who would be interested in playing, and texted my friends about getting a team together. At our first practice, it was just me and Presley Reedhead, but since then, our numbers have increased to over 20 girls. After months and months of hard work for a Shola High School girls flag football team, we have been told that there is not enough time for a fall season. What I don't understand is that I emailed the athletic director back in December. Was 8 months not enough time? Our extraordinary girls are extremely dedicated to this sport, and we deserve just as much respect and opportunity to play as any other team at Shola High School. Our coaches have used their own personal money to pay for uniforms, transportation, and all of their necessary expenses, not to mention all their donated time and dedication to our team. We have several schools asking to play us this season. We have so many freshmen through senior girls who are excited to play, and all we're asking for is approval and recognition from the district as an SLHS team so we can play ball. I'm the student body president at Shola High School, and I'm a member of Future Business Leaders of America along with National Honor Society. I am very involved within my school, and I speak for the student body when I request the opportunity for the girls' flag football team to be given a chance. Thank you for your time.
Hello, Sholo Unified District School Board. My name is Presley Reedhead, and I am the Sholo High School Senior Class President and the quarterback of our team at our school. Both of these roles I participate in make me a leader for my peers, and that is why I am speaking to you today. As a Senior Class President, for Sholo, it is my responsibility to ensure me and my fellow seniors receive the best for our last year of high school. And we have been denied the respect we deserve. We have recently been told our new flag football program will not receive a season this year, but we can hope for a 24-25 season. I would like to inform you all that this program began with senior Lindsay Lewis because she emailed athletic director Mr. Hoffmeyer and she asked to start the team. And then she reached out to people like me who she thinks she would be interested. We did not believe that this team would become what it is today. We deserve the same opportunity as the players who will be playing next season, as we began this program and we have put in the same amount of work this summer as the other players and other programs. If you do not trust this statement, you can feel free to ask your Shola High School football team because they were out there with us 4 days a week for 2 to 3 hours this whole summer practice. As our program has stated to the superintendent, we have given every problem it has to program a solution, so we should have no reason not to be able to play. As I've stated earlier, I am this family's quarterback, which if you do not know means I lead the team's offense. And by leading them, I've also become their sister. I have been mistreated by other school sports because I have been mistreated by other school sports just like other girls on our team. And we were all looking for something new, as I have found out by giving time with these girls. I have found out that they have been mistreated too by different scenarios, and we have all made us closer. These girls gave me hope and determination to be who I am, and I love them all for that. Our entire family deserves to walk down the hallway of our school as a Sholo Cougar girls flag football player and not just as a club team. As women of the first generation girls flag football team, we will not be disempowered when we should be earned respect for the work we have put into this program. We are being held back the chance to lead and to start something new when we have been given no reason why we can't. With that, please consider giving us a 23-24 flag football season. And please allow me to play my season with my family. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, girls.
Thank you.
Hey, before you guys go, President, is it okay if we hear each one of their names? I think at least we need to know who
You
they
guys
are.
want to go by the mic on your way back and say your name?
Yeah. Please, tell us who you are.
Right here.
My name is Jacqueline Quezada Garcia. My name is Naomi Munoz.
My name is Carly Romero. My name is Layla Mullen. My name is Addie Wallace.
My name is Gabriella Foster.
Allie Ramses.
And Patton.
Abigail Trillo.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming to see us.
Is there a group of parents that want to make a statement? Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen of the board, my name is Toby Reedhead. I'm one of the coaches of the girls flag football team at Shola High School. I wanted to touch on several things as far as promoting our girls and the program that we're looking for in the fall season. There was a couple of things said in the work session that I wanted to start out. First of all, I actually had the pleasure of meeting with the director for the state through the AIA 2 days ago, where all these questions were answered by him and from his staff. Make sure that we got the correct answers to our questions. That being said, the time has passed for a fall season, but he has allowed a special stipulation for us after hearing the story that we've gone through, and he's willing to work with us hand in hand in the next couple of days to secure our fall season. He did not, as far as the August 11th deadline, that isn't for us. That's for people that have already, or I should say high schools that have already been approved and done, to be able to address them till the 11th. He actually has given us the next couple of days to secure our season because we are behind. That being said, as far as the spring season was brought up, The lack of participation for the spring season, by his opinion, is it's probably not going to happen. The reason is too many high schools do not want to do a fall season and spring season, and they see more competition during the spring than they do in the fall. They are really persistent on making the fall season work. That being said, as far as a 2A, 3A meeting, there is not a meeting that's going to be addressed at the 2A, 3A level. The meeting is an overall for the state. What has happened is the AIA has addressed every high school equally to see what kind of participation we would get. Out of the many, many high schools in the state of Arizona, there are only 57 that are participating in this year. From when they got that number, which started out originally at 27 by his own admittance.
Let me get that. That's it.
You can finish your statement.
By his own admittance, it grew from 27 to 57. He has allowed everybody in that conference to play one another. What I mean by that is there's no 2A, 3A, 4A, 5A. We're all under the Freedom Conference, and this is a probationary year. They actually have a little bit of embarrassment. They thought there'd be more high schools jump on the inaugural year, so they're calling it a probationary year. The reason they're doing that is because some high schools have come back to them and said, we need to figure this in our program for the next 5 years, and they're saying you don't have to. We are having a probationary year where every high school in the state will be held to the same standard, that they can revisit this after the end of the year and say, hey, we didn't have enough participants, we can't afford it. Whatever they may be, you can walk away after 1 year. No high school is being asked to figure it in their budget. So that all being said, the 2A, 3A thing, it's a farce. We're all being treated equal. We did play 5A South Mountain. We came out victorious. He encourages us to play these larger schools because this is the inaugural year. And he said, given that everybody's brand new at this would not hamper us as far as our season being a smaller school, as we played 5A South Mountain and we won. He also said that there were several things that he said to help us move along. I know I'm on a time here. It will not be a Friday night schedule like the boys. He said to adopt the idea of being a volleyball or a soccer schedule where we would play twice a week because we have to have 16 games in about a 3-month time span. So nobody from our conference would be just specifically on Friday nights like the boys, because there would be competition for a football field at that time, where a Tuesday, Thursday, or a Monday, Wednesday schedule would be more prone for all the high schools to make it easier to make this a success.
Thank you, Mr. Reed. Is there anyone, a stakeholder that wants to comment or a parent?
Hello, folks. Glad to be here. I've been a resident here about 2 years, and we also have residents back in Phoenix. My wife and I love this community, love this town, love the people here. My daughter is on it.
You state your name.
My name is Juan Trio. My daughter is with this team, and we feel a part of this community. And I speak to you as a parent and a coach. And the reason I say that is because when we first started my daughter playing, she was playing on boys' teams and was not allowed to play. She was on the team, but didn't play. We had to drive 33 miles, which we still have been gladly been doing the last few years, to get her on an all-girls team. What you guys have here is very special, okay? We continue to do that for her. Then there were no coaches, so I've coached 3 seasons for her, okay? It's very difficult to get girls, all-girls sports, and give them the opportunity to have leadership skills, to feel confident in what they're doing. And I see those changes in my daughter. With that being said, I think many of you know that only 6% of Fortune 500 CEOs are women. 94% of those have played sports. Not only is it important for the girls that play sports, but they're a role model for other girls. Now, because I was involved with the Gilbert League, was one of the few girls flag football coaches, I was invited to the Arizona Cardinals Coaches Clinic a few months ago. There I met Coach Soto, a lot of the high school coaches in the Phoenix area. AIA was there, Nike was there, Arizona Cardinals hosted it, all these coaches. AIA said the main problem that they had with the fall season is that it may interfere with the boys' sports. They said if they go spring, they're not going to do it to 2025. So think about that. These girls will go, these seniors will go without playing, without opportunities for scholarships, without opportunities to put it on their applications for colleges that may be the edge that they need to get into school they want to get into. So the Cougars are leaders. They're not followers. You guys talked about leadership. Be leaders. Stand up for these girls. You've been put on here to stand up for them. Everyone's willing to pitch in and do what they need to do to make this happen. Let's make it happen.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Melissa Mullen. First off, I'd like to thank you for your time in hearing and letting me voice my opinion and concerns, and your willingness to hear them. This is a great turnout we have tonight. Isn't it beautiful to see so many parents, loved ones, friends supporting our young women, this flag football team? My employer talks of their values being hunger, heart, and harmony. And it's something that they have to work towards every day. What I find truly amazing, though, is that these girls, this team, organically portray those values every day. These girls are hungry to prove themselves, hungry to learn more, and to put it into action. They've learned so much of this game in the past couple of months. It's very inspiring. In alignment with this hunger, we see they pour their heart into their practices every day, and even in between practices. We see the heart they show one another. It's evident in the harmony that they demonstrate. I think we can all agree that our young women need guidance and direction with harmonious actions amongst one another. And the harmony I've seen on this team is closer to faith. Excuse me, I'm a little nervous. The harmony I've seen on this team is closer to family than an after-hours sports team. It's truly heartwarming to see. I feel it's our duty as parents, guardians, aunts, uncles, citizens, public servants, to lift our young ladies up rather than knock them down, rewarding this hunger, heart, and harmony so they'll bring it out into the world, hopefully to the next level, and not be torn down like many of us women have seen so often. By supporting our girls in sports, we actually support our community and the long-term well-being and success of our future families. Supporting groups like this is crucial for promoting gender equality, enhancing mental and physical and mental health, fostering personal development, improving academic performance, creating career opportunities, building community connections, and ensuring a brighter future for our girls and our society as a whole. We have been participating in club, and the teams that we are participating against are also club teams, which go out and handpick people, right? So we are more aligned to work at a high school level, and we're willing to pay for the season ourselves. I urge you to support and back our girls' flag football season this year. Thank you.
Is there anyone that has an opposing view that wants to speak? No? Sure. Not opposing? Okay. Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody. Item 10.1, ESSER Grants Report. Mrs. Ramsey.
Before we move on, can I just congratulate you young ladies for coming out and visiting with us and telling us your thoughts. Really appreciate that. I think that's a great characteristic for y'all to have. So just keep fighting. It's going to come out in the wash. I know how it's going to come out in the wash, but Just keep fighting.
Right. Good evening, Madam President, members of the board. I've been asked to present an update on our ESSER funds and the spending. The first slide, you want to? I know, but can you move it up? There you go. All right. So this is just a recap of the funding that we had. The first allocation was $633,000. That was known as the CARES Act. Then we received $3.1 million for ESSER 2, and then an additional $6.1 million for ESSER 3, for a total of just under $10 million. ESSER 1 was 100% for cleaning and sanitation. And if you look down at the bottom of this slide, 100% expended. That was done that first year of the CARES Act. ESSER 2 and 3 for 3.1 and 6.1 respectively. The administrative team got together and decided on these percentages, what was needed for each of these categories. So we had 8% for technology, 25% for maintaining and employing staff, 10% for resources, 20% for learning loss, 10% mental health, 25% for facilities costs, and 2% for indirect costs. 100% of ESSER 2 has been expended. That was to be completed by September 30th, and that has been done. We're just waiting to do the completion reports, and it'll be off our hands. ESSER 3, we have approximately 55% of this expended. We have one more school year. This has to be completed by September 30th of next year.
24.
So as of July 1st, technology, I put that reminder up there of 8%. 8% of the entire ESSER 2 and 3 together was $742,000. And everything on this page that is not highlighted, I know for those at home, you can barely see it. It's been spent. The ones that are highlighted have either been spent, or we are continuing to spend it, or it's coming up this year. So it's not completely used yet.
So it's part of that percentage of ESSER 3 that hasn't been spent yet, but will be.
Correct. Yep. So we're looking at some Chromecast devices. The ones in the televisions in each of the classrooms are expiring. Those have to be replaced so we can continue to use the smart TVs. We are also going to have 644 Chromebooks throughout the district that are expiring as well and need to be replaced. So that $225,000 is going to be going for those. Altogether, technology, we came a little under that 8%, but our total there in the end will be $572,000 spent there.
Can I ask a quick question? These expiring devices, what are we doing with those?
The ones that we can, our technology tries to rejuvenate them, but there is still a cost to that. So it's not, they can, they can't just do it for free. So,
Can we send them back to the company, or are you talking our people trying?
Our people.
Our employees, okay.
And those that can't be revived, technology disposes of them as necessary.
For that.
Have a very long life, do they?
They don't.
A couple years.
Yep. Yeah. In fact, that big order that we did of 1,100 Chromebooks that Stacy came over to my office and helped with all of those are going to be expiring not this year, but the following year. So somehow, somewhere, we need money for another 1,100 Chromebooks. Anybody have money?
Did you throw them around? Is that why they?
Yeah. She was really rough with them.
For the prize in every box.
Money we got to fit into the budget down the road too.
Next up, maintaining and employing staff, 25% was to go here, so $2.3 million. I didn't highlight this one, and it should have been highlighted, but the retention stipends, this is going to be the last fall for the retention stipends through ESSER. So this year, and then the other 2 years of retention stipends comes out to that $1.9 million. And then we have $250,000 for marquees that are going to be going up at some of the schools. So for maintaining and employing staff, that was 2.3 and we're at 2.1. So we were pretty close to staying on top of that one. Resources, 10% for $928,000. You can see there we are a little bit under that, but we still have, nope, never mind, we don't have anything here. So all of this has been expended. Okay, so if you have any questions on that one. Now, learning loss is a little tricky because a lot of the stuff that we wanted to purchase, like for mental health, that can also go into learning loss. So I had to kind of play a little bit of a game, moving things around here and there. But everything here on this page is continuing to be purchased. We have to spend 20% of ESSER 3 on learning loss. No ifs, ands, or buts. So that 1.8 is what we allocated, but we have to spend 1.2 million. And with all of these expenses, we are at 1.5 million. So we are spending more towards learning loss than what we had to spend, but still a little under what we first anticipated.
Can I ask a quick question? The mental health counseling services, do you have a budget within this budget of what you're planning on spending on that? Or is that as it comes?
So this particular one is actually for a paid counselor to come to the district. Okay. It's for one person. It is over a couple of years. And
so I'll show you. When we need that person for a mental health issue, that person is available to us to help.
That person, yes.
Whatever.
Well, they have something specific that they work on, and you would have to talk to Mrs. Marsh about that.
I'd like to see a little more spent there.
Well, here, so we have mental health, because mental health could go towards learning loss. That was one of those that can go there. And we have counselors. We kind of had this buffer in here, mental health, $928,000. If those counselors from the Safe Schools grant didn't come through, then we had some funding that we could have paid counselors. That came through. So now we have funding in mental health that, we're not spending particularly for mental health. Okay. And we do have some counseling services on this one as well for $23,000. Facilities. I broke this up into two different parts. The first one, facilities, was $2.3 million. And the first section is strictly facilities. So you have the construction services, Linden's playground, and then carpet and painting, which is highlighted. So we are continuing to get some painting and some carpet in. And that was $2.3 million. So we were pretty much right on with that one. Then we had some extra expenses that we didn't necessarily find another spot to put them in. So I threw them down here and I'm using up the rest of the funding with these. So we had the white fleet that we purchased, didn't really go under any other category. We had the security cameras. We need some additional security cameras, like for the auditorium and other places that wasn't in that initial purchase. And then there are some entryway fobs and doors that need to be replaced. So all of that is going to be in this little secondary budget down here for $1.7 million. Then we have indirect costs. And in conclusion, if you want to know, our budget, $9.2 million. Remember, this is for ESSER 2 and 3. It does not include ESSER 1. We have expended $2.7 million. That's off the books, right? And then we have $6.5 million that's continuing or in process. And remaining, we have nothing remaining. So I've told the administrators, stop asking. It's not there. Any questions?
Thank you, Jamie.
Looks great. Thank you.
All right. Stop by my office anytime and I can give you more information if you would like. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 10.2, Superintendent Report. St. John.
I just have to say the last few years, it has been kind of fun to have some ESSER money because we've been able to do some things that you just normally just can't do quite as quick. And it was kind of sad when she said there's no more left. I put a few important dates there as far as the start of the new school year. The New Teacher Institute starts on July 24th. So they have 3 days there, the 24th, 25th, 26th. And then there's 4 days for them and all staff for further orientation, including a welcome everybody will be there in the auditorium. And then there's some emergency safety training too with that mutual link. And we do have actually a big emergency day that I'll share with you down the road on October 6th as well, because I feel like we need to catch up a little bit on our efforts to be as safe as we can possibly be, physically and that kind of thing. So, and then of course the first day of school is August 2nd. So happens pretty fast. The new business office we're supposed to be able to move in after the 15th. I just heard actually we can move some stuff in there a little even tomorrow, which is kind of nice. We just can't have the public in there yet. We have to do a punch list though. That was put off this last week because the architect had some car trouble. So we'll do the punch list on the 20th. I know at least one concern is if it's kind of weird. I think it's a nice looking building, but they do have some off-color roofing tiles. I don't know if you noticed that. I didn't notice it actually till Mrs. Anderson had said, President Anderson had said, hey, those things are a little off color. And I guess that actually happens. We're going to ask that that's remedied somehow, some way. I'm not sure how that's going to go though. But we are the builders are aware of it, and there's some other things too. I think on that smaller things. I'm hoping that will come along with the punch list as well. For sure, I've already noticed a few things just kind of roaming in there, but the transition is close. We're about ready to move, so that will be nice. We're planning to do the training. So the training with the new teachers, that NTI, that will be in the new business office. So. Hopefully everybody thinks that it looks good. I haven't noticed that the flagpole got put up, but that's going to be nice as well. And then the marquee for the junior high school will be right there on Old Linden. We're just kind of finishing up, making sure the city's okay with it. But that marquee that will be used really for the junior high and high school will sit right there by the new business office. And then the other schools, Nicholas, Whipple, Linden, will have their own. The classified schedule initiative, I just have been wanting to look at that, and we continue to look at it, and I'm just not comfortable. I feel like we might be able to have a little play in our budget. So I'm just say now that I'm asking Kelly and Stacy, at least if you two had some time, would sit. And of course, we'll post those as meetings because they'll have to be public. But I just want to go through that schedule with you guys. So it's possible that could come back and be in front of the board at some point in time if we've identified that we want to change those and that we have the funding for it. And then speaking of funding, I had asked Facilities Director Sean West if he would give us an update on the SFD. And right now that's official. It's the School Facilities Division. So that's the division of the Arizona Department of Education that helps to fund for facility issues. You can see, if you just look at the bottom line, since 2017, we've had over $46 million. And just recently, I thought it was about 15 or 16 million, but we have over $20 million worth of projects there. And as you can see, we have some that we've applied for. We're expecting to do more. So they have done a good job, and we have to kind of say, hey, good job, state, and all that. And the only excruciating, painful thing is it just seems like they're awfully slow. You know what I mean? It's just the timing. So I wish they could go a little quicker. In fact, I'm kind of frustrated just with the high school roof. I felt like, well, that will be done easily. And here we go with the monsoons again. And you know what happened last year? We got flooded out in the auditorium and stuff. So, and we want the rain, right? Because it's dry and we need it. It's fire season. So I don't know how to hurry that up. My facility director's Sean West a lot about that. There's only so much he can do, but kudos to him. Look at how much effort that he's put in and how much money that's actually been put into the district over the last 6 or so years. So it is working. And we're still going to work hard with them and then looking at whether we can get them to consider our high school full, kind of at capacity, so that we might be considered to get a new building. I feel like we're pretty close, but their numbers don't quite match with ours. But I'm working with some consultants to help us share the numbers so that it might match better with them, and that could be a good windfall and a big thing for us if we could get a new building. But how close we really are, I guess, is they're saying we're not. I think we are. Looking at our numbers and just being feet on the ground here, when you go walk through the high school, it seems awfully full. But we definitely have a difference between our enrollment or our ADM at the beginning of the year and the end of the year, and so that does hurt. Do you have any questions on that? I thought that was a nice report for you guys to be able to see, as well as from the ESSER, that I appreciate Mrs. Ramsey coming and sharing with you guys, and the money that we've had with SFD. So it's a chunk.
Thank you. Item 11.1, adopt the 23-24 budget. You guys want to go over it again?
Motion to approve as presented.
Second.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Item 11.2, adopt the 23-24 district goals. Carla, are you going to share those with us?
I'm going to mention them again. So to achieve year-over-year improvement in math and ELA achievement data, to promote and improve attendance through celebrations and recognition, and to implement response to intervention, RTI, the RTI framework for academic support in K-8 and behavior support in 9-12.
I like them. I motion to approve.
Second, thank you for all the work that went into it by everyone.
Great. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item 11.4, 11.3, classified personnel employment. It's not loading. For your approval. This also includes coaches. Right.
I'll make a motion to approve as presented, with thanks to the many who served in the district and have recently resigned.
Second.
Favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Item on here. Sorry. 11.4, approval of certified personnel employment for your approval and transfers.
Well, I'm really excited about some of the people that were signed on and coming on board. So with that, I'll motion to approve as presented.
On favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Item 11.5, administration personnel employment, Mr. St. John.
Yeah, well, you can read a bit of the description in there that happened in regards to the recommendation to hire Nathan Vieira as the new business manager. He has a master's level of education.
In what?
Well, good question. And I can't
Is he here?
exactly what it is. No, I don't believe he's here. I don't think John's here. But originally he was
being approved by the board and he's not here?
Correct.
Brutal.
So he was a licensed in respiratory therapy. That was his original degree, which I thought was kind of unique. But he has been an instructor. He's been a branch manager with LinCare. He's been a program director with Pima Medical Institute. And again, a clinical didactic instructor. So he actually has some excellent background in regards to accounting, just not school finance, which is very unique and difficult, but is a man of good character for sure, based on our background checks. And just, I think when you first meet him, we were very impressed. So definitely a good recommendation, I think, from the committee.
I'm concerned there's no experience with education. We all know how difficult the state finance laws are when it comes to the schools. We don't even know what his master's in. Is it accounting or
Not a CPA, no.
numbers?
Not a CPA, no.
Wonder why he,
I'm curious what I mean, nothing I read here jumps out and says he's,
So I'm curious
school
why the
business
two people
manager.
who expressed an interest in being on the committee were not on the committee.
because I work. And I said I work. So if you don't plan it when I don't work, I'm not gonna,
Did you have the opportunity to ask these questions before today? Could you have expressed your concerns before now? I wonder.
I guess I could have.
I think whoever takes
What's the point?
I think whoever
I'm
takes
still asking now.
whoever takes that job as a business manager, I think in the school business is going to have a learning curve for the most part, unless we paid a heck of a lot more actually. So we're under that curve as far as probably expecting or looking for somebody with an actual CPA. So then that would have to be adjusted. I couldn't be more excited actually. And I think the mentoring that's available for Mr. Vera will be plenty enough. And it's not like I haven't been around for, not in Arizona, granted, but for quite a few years. So it's definitely a big learning curve, but it's a tough job. There's no question.
I'm kind of like John. I have to work.
I even sent an email saying I worked that day.
Hoping that the schedule would allow me.
Nobody offered to reschedule it, so I can be a
I
part
have
of
a
it.
job too, and I made it work at the last minute
I
to be
appreciate
a part of the committee
Thank you
because
very much. I didn't.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure that we will offer him the training that he needs in order to become acclimated to school budgets, right? We have our auditor who could work closely with him and ensure that he's included in ASBA, which probably would offer assistance training as well as our professional group.
Absolutely. And I actually have a consultant. We were using a consultant before as well,
Right.
with our previous business manager as well. So it's a good thing to have.
I know that. So I will make motion.
My question is, are we any better off now than we were a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago? No,
But in
I can see it.
But in 6 months, I think we will be.
Okay, we might have to put an ice cream cone on that. Or a shake. Or something.
I have one motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Opposed.
Motion passes. Item 11.6, 2324 food service meal prices. Are the new menus out? Can we eat lunch in the do the new menus in the cafeteria now?
I don't know, but I'll let Mrs. Hubbard speak to the pricing. Oh.
Madam President, board members, I appreciate getting to talk to you for the first time. The new pricing, as everybody knows, ADE requires us to look at this pricing using what they call the paid lunch equity tool. And it basically compares what you're charging for lunches versus what the government is reimbursing for a free kid. And reality says that ADE says that you should go to $356 next school year, but they have allowed a gradual step to that. So we're not ripping the Band-Aid off, going from, $240 at Whipple to $356. So this increases the minimum required in order to get us to where we meet the state standard. And we have a administrative review next school year. This is something that they will be looking at to double check that we are doing our job. And it's just, like I said, we're not taking it all the way up. Because and what we're taking it to is very equitable. Snowflake is at 305, Blue Ridge is at 320. Heber ripped the Band-Aid off and went all the way to 350. Joseph City is at 320. So this pricing is very, very similar to everybody else on the mountain. So I feel like it's a fair number. Other than that, yes, the menus are done. They're not posted yet, but they are done. And they're going to be awesome, and we'll have them on NutriSlice for you so that you can check them on your app and you can check them on the school website. So
Parents access the free and reduced lunch.
app, is a free and reduced lunch app on the website? So I will look into that. I'm just getting in here and finding out what we got going on. Robin's been awesome. She's been awesome to work with. I see a lot of potential and a lot of good things in her, and I'm excited to get the opportunity to work side by side with her and move the program forward. I mean, I've seen your lunches now, and they need to move forward. So, but that's all I got.
Thank you.
Well, I'm grateful that you're doing the step process in increasing the fees so it's not ripping the Band-Aid off at one time. And I hope that we'll communicate to parents like early in the school year what it's potentially going to be for next year so that they'll see what's coming.
All of the principals were made aware of the pricing yesterday at the admin meeting, so they all have it, and I'm sure they will move forward with it and get it in everything that it needs to be in. Okay.
Thank you.
A motion we approve.
Second.
In favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item 11.7, approval of school and staff handbooks for Linden Elementary, Nicholas Homestead, Sholo High School, WMI, the athletic handbook, student family handbook for Sholo Junior High, Whipple Ranch Elementary, and our Sholo Unified School District employee handbook. Your approval.
Ooh, that was a lot of reading.
It was.
I apologize to those who I emailed that person. I notice it. You might as well fix it. No offense.
I'll make motion to approve as presented.
I'll second.
In favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item 11.8, stipends for PBIS certified trainer and various activities. Your approval.
I'll move to approve as presented.
Second.
Favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Item 11.9, graduation policy, second reading for your approval.
I'll make motion to approve as presented.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. 11.10, sole source vendors for your approval.
Motion to approve as presented.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. 11.11, school properties disposal for your approval. This is all still online, right? If someone wants to look. Put everything online that we're getting rid of, yeah.
Motion we approve.
Favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. 11.12, student fundraising activity for your approval.
I had a question about this actually. Do PTSOs have to submit it to us? In the past, we haven't had, PTSOs weren't part of that were
They
submitted.
don't necessarily have to. I think they make it put in front of you, though. It might just be, that's okay.
I motion to approve as.
I want to say that the PTOs do have to. Do the PTOs have, I'm pretty sure the PTOs have to report that.
Well, they report their financials, but I didn't think they had to get prior permission.
We're talking prior permission for each fundraiser?
Yeah, 'cause that's what this is. This is the permission to do a fundraiser. But we've never approved PTSO fundraisers ahead of time before. So I just wasn't sure if that was.
By policy, I don't think it has to, but I don't think it's a bad idea. I mean, it doesn't hurt anything.
Right. But just if they.
I think at the high school they do because they have so many competing fundraisers, but I don't think elementary schools are competing with anyone else. So.
Did I motion?
You were going to.
I did? Okay, I motion to approve.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 11.13, approval of girls volleyball out-of-state trip to St. George. For your approval.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll happily motion.
Second.
Favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Thanks,
Not that I
guys.
wasn't happy about the other things.
Just a few things here.